back, everybody. It's Sarcasm Speaks. Jared and Bob here, and we got Eric making his triumphant return. It's been a little while.
Yeah, a couple months, I think.
Has it been that long?
At least.
Jeez.
I think last time was May. I think May.
Oh, shit. Wow.
Sheesh.
Dude, time flies by. We had a little stretch in there where we recorded like 6 episodes in like 4 days. So I think
you guys had a bunch of travel.
Yeah.
And like I think my last episode was before you guys went to Nashville.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, God.
Or
Yeah,
it was right around the Masters, I think, maybe.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Yeah, that's a little bit. Well, welcome back. Glad to have you back. Well, we got some good news. Right off the start here. We ended the last episode all doom and gloom because that's what we do here at Sarcasm Speaks. We don't have any positive takes at all because don't waste your fucking time. And we signed off and we said, oh, sports betting, not going to happen. Tonight's the deadline. And in true douchebag curse fashion, right? Because everything we do just gets cursed, right? So it's like a little bit of both, right? Everything is doom and gloom. Nothing's good. But at the same time, everything we say or do, the opposite happens. So whether it's in particular with sports betting in general, where it's like, you know, Bob was betting on Xander Schauffele to win for like fucking 6 weeks, and then he stops, and then he wins back-to-back tournaments, and then just all of the bullshit, right? You guys have been along for the ride. So here we are on Sunday night, or there we were on Sunday night when we finished recording, and we were like, well, another year gone, another year without sports betting, maybe next year. But wait, holy shit, the Massachusetts state government finally did something worth a fucking penny. They did it. They passed sports betting.
so I'm gonna get this out of the way now, because what everyone's been telling me is, oh, well, what are you mad about? I'm mad at the process because they were supposed to finish this by 11:59 on Sunday. That's when the session ended. So why the fuck they were allowed to go until 10 a.m. on Monday is like, it's whose line? It's like, well, we have a deadline, but we're just gonna go beyond it, and it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
like, why have a deadline if you're just gonna go 10 hours beyond it?
Welcome to Massachusetts government, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
Like, seriously. And so it was like 4 a.m. when sports betting passed.
Yeah. I believe it was 4:41 a.m.
I was like,
the timestamp.
Because I went, like, I thought it was dead. Like, I thought we were dead. 11:59. I go, there's no way. There's no way, because nothing was passing, and I don't even know what else they were voting on. Like,
The only 2 things that got passed by like 11 o'clock were something about like expanding mental health care.
yeah, I know. Remember
and-
mental health being a thing.
And weed.
What about weed?
I don't know.
It wasn't weed already legal?
Yeah, there was something else. It was maybe it's something to like help the businesses start, or maybe they'll start accepting the money, because that's the issue with weed businesses right now, is that like banks won't take the money because federally it's illegal. So like maybe the state like went around and said they'll give state funds to help. I don't know. All I know is that because I started following that Mass Senate or Mass
House
whatever
news or whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. And that's what they said. They said, as it stands, the only 2 bills that were passed today were about cannabis and mental health.
Okay.
So I don't know anything outside of that.
Also,
That's
in fairness, if you have to pay state taxes, the state should fucking give you some, like, because you can't use a national bank. Like, that's an issue with these cannabis companies. Like, they can't use federal banks. So it's like, where the fuck exactly are they supposed to keep their money, and how exactly are they supposed to accept payments? Yeah, you want your taxes, so fucking throw them a bone here, you fuckers.
Yeah.
So my second gripe is regarding the details that came out. So from Ryan Linehan, or our Linehan, is it Ryan? I don't even know his first. Robert.
It's Ryan now.
It's Robert. Rico Linehan.
Yeah.
Details. 15% retail tax, 20% online tax.
Yeah.
So just so we are clear, and anyone listening to this, if you win $100 betting on sports, you do not pay 15 or 20%. You pay nothing. If
Correct.
you win $100, you get $100.
You win $100.
The book plays it. Yeah.
It's not sales tax.
That tax is built into the juice.
Not exactly. It can be.
Sometimes. Well, that's why what I had heard originally was that's why DraftKings had really fucked up lines. Is like they never had like a standard like -110, -115, -130. It was always like -136 or like -112 or something like that, is because they built in their tax into their juice. So maybe it was just a DraftKings thing. But
it could be just a DraftKings thing
across the board.
So the only fault in that law. So just to play devil's advocate, because I know people come up with their theories like, oh, the lines are juiced. No, the lines are set so that the book reduces their liability the most and the player wins the least. Now they have to be on the right side of it. But how does the tax juice work if DraftKings puts something out there for 30-1 on a future and everywhere else has it 22-1? Did the juice work then? Like the juice doesn't work there.
Right.
Like you don't like, so their sides, totals, like standard bets, what you would consider standard, they do have fucked up numbers. It's always like -112 or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're never going to see like a linear percent. Like it's not going to be like if -110 is standard, they run it as -112 to account for tax. Like it's not going to be as easy as that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they probably do build in some lines and they do come up with some weird numbers on the odds, but it's not like a 1-for-1. Like you won't be able to like create an algorithm to say like, oh, well, based on the tax, it's this. And it's like, no, just catch a good line. And this is the best. Well, we'll get to it, but people like honestly think like, oh, if I win $100, I only get 80 now. It's like, no.
Yeah. No.
The companies are taxed on their profit to the state. That's how it works.
Right.
Collegiate betting allowed on non-Massachusetts colleges. That's pretty standard.
Yeah. Hey, I also
states.
don't give a shit. I'm not going to bet on BC, UMass Amherst, UMass Lowell.
I don't need to bet on the Riverhawks.
Like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, the Holy Cross. Like,
yeah.
What's the Holy Cross puck line?
Oh no, I can't bet on fucking Stonehill hockey. Oh, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
D1
the
now.
D3 betting community is huge, I thought.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, underground, it's nice. That's where the games are fixed.
What about intramurals? Does that? I mean, that's not really affiliated with the college.
Dude, I'm telling you, Sharon Country Club needs a gaming board, and I'm willing to do it, like gaming committee, because these people are degenerates. So there's been, they introduced it for the first tournament this year, parimutuel betting, kind of like the horses, where you don't know your odds until all the money's in.
Yeah.
But they've been parimutuel betting every tournament this year because the guys love it. Casinos, racetracks, they each get a sports betting license. I believe so I genuinely don't understand this. I think each casino gets 2 skins. Now a skin is easy to understand. It's like DraftKings, FanDuel, whatever. It's like an operator is a skin. Now I don't understand how Encore is going to get 2 skins. That doesn't make any fucking sense to me because they have WinBet.
Right. So so when you mean skins, you mean mobile betting licenses?
Mobile betting. So yeah, because the term that they all use is skins, but so
I'm 7 now.
So 7. So we're gonna get 7 in the state.
Oh, gotcha.
But the casinos, I think, are getting 2.
Like in them?
Yeah, or tethered to them. I don't know. That's what I don't get. So
have you been to the Brook? Obviously.
I haven't been up there. I know it's DraftKings though.
So they have a DraftKings like mobile area.
Yeah.
And you can get a ticket, all that right there.
Right. So New Hampshire has 1 operator and it's DraftKings. Rhode Island has 1 operator and it is
Bally.
Sportsbook Rhode Island.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't exactly know how this works with the physical locations. With 2, I don't understand how that works because I could see
so
WinBet in Encore.
because
I
it's
can't-
Win, right? But what are they
Nothing
also? Are
else
they
will be-
also going to host like Caesars?
That's what I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like MGM will have BetMGM. I
right.
assume Plainridge will have Barstool.
Yeah,
Like those are all like the companies.
right.
But like you're not going to have a Barstool sportsbook and a Caesars sportsbook in the same building, are you?
Win will
It doesn't-
not have anything else other than WinBet.
No, and I mean
Yeah.
that guy. That's how they operate. So that's fine.
Right.
So I don't exactly know. Now I guess if you were like, so say you're the Dog Track and Rainham,
That
And
makes
you-
a little bit more
and
sense.
if you can have 2, but I don't know if they get 2.
yeah,
I guess like just on the property, you could have FanDuel, Caesars, restaurant here, restaurant there, and whatever. Like
yeah.
Has it said anything for the arenas like Fenway, Gillette?
not yet. Not yet. I don't know how that's exactly going to work either. That's something that might have to get amended in after.
Yeah. Because there'll be a bidding war for that too.
Yeah, there will be. No credit card deposits, which I'm fine with. If
Yeah.
you don't have the money, you shouldn't be allowed to bet it.
I 100% agree with that. Yeah.
And then they're not going to have the advertising restrictions.
Okay.
So of the things I just listed out, the House passed a bill 19 months ago, and the Senate passed one a couple months ago. Of those details, the only one that came from the Senate was the no credit card deposits. Every other detail. Now you can maybe there weren't so many. They may have limited the sports betting licenses in the from the Senate bill for mobile operators. But the Senate held this up for this long just so that they could have no credit card deposits because they wanted to jack the tax rate. That didn't happen. They
Right.
wanted no college betting. We got college betting. They probably didn't want the racetracks to have anything, I assume. I don't remember off the top of my head. And they wanted to limit the mobile sports betting operators, which is fine. Honestly, it is. You don't need 20 operators. Like,
Right.
like seven mobile, and then whatever's tethered to the physical locations will be plenty, like more than
Yeah.
enough.
So does that 7 not include what's tethered?
So
Is
that's
it like an in addition to?
truthfully, that's the only detail I don't really know. So if you could, if the casinos and the racetracks potentially get 2, you've got Suffolk Downs, right? What I don't even know what racetracks these are. So it's a Dog Track in Raynham. It's probably Suffolk Downs. Is Wonderland still standing?
No.
Okay.
Wonderland's gone. It's
So I don't know what other
condos now.
racetracks there are. Yeah. I don't know what other racetracks there are. There's probably like 2 or something random around.
Yeah.
Well, they're
So-
building one down like in the Wareham area too, I think.
I think I heard that.
They announced that a couple of years ago. Who knows if that's still going?
And then
Yeah.
Taunton's supposed to be getting a casino, but who the fuck knows there?
So I'd imagine it's 2 per casino. It's their own plus
Yeah. So then, like, I assume you would have
Barstool or
the WinBet sports book, or it would just be like the Encore sports book, whatever.
So the ones that are
In-house.
tethered, it's not going to be like it's like a geotag, right? Like it's like, so for example, right, if Barstool is going to be at Plainridge because they're owned by Penn, like it's not like you have to be on site at Plainridge to bet
No.
Barstool Mobile,
Not mobile.
right?
So if you have a physical location,
Okay, all right, I think I get it now. So the difference is like tickets versus on your phone.
Yes.
So like in order to get the physical tickets,
Yep.
you get those from a tethered location.
yeah,
But if you bet on your phone, you can have up to seven things. So technically Barstool will have both. Barstool will have a tethered location where you get tickets at Plainridge, and they'll also have a mobile license.
and what I'm thinking is if Barstool, so let's just use for the 3 casinos we have BetMGM,
right,
WinBet, and Barstool Sportsbook.
right,
Those 3 you theoretically should be able to walk into and bet mobily, and that doesn't include your 7 untethered mobile operators.
right.
So then you
Right.
can have
You can have a Caesars, or you can
DraftKings,
have
FanDuel, Caesars,
Yeah.
Points Bet, Bet 365, Fox Bet,
Right.
whatever else is around.
That's funny though. I wonder if you go to Encore and try to bet Barstool, could you?
If they lock you or something.
Yeah. If it is
Yeah.
geotagged or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That would be funny.
I'll tell you what though. I mean, all the nomenclature behind it, I'm fucking pumped to just be able to sit there on like a Sunday and just constantly, I'll be live betting. Can't wait to live bet.
Well, hopefully it's a lot more user friendly when it comes to now it's a local thing, right? So we ran into the issue because we're huge degenerates and we would live bet on MyBookie or what else did we use? Did we have, I think we used
Like Bovada.
Yeah, some people use
like
Bovada.
Bovada, or what was the other one? Bet Online was one I used for a little while. No free ads, fuck them. But their live betting system sucks because it's so many people are on it and it's based in fucking Antigua. So like how good is the server like capacity in Antigua? You know what I mean? So trying to get a live bet in was the most miserable thing in the world, like in the middle of a football game. Now, like during baseball and hockey and other games, like it's fine. I mean, I don't know anyone that live bets hockey. The game moves too fast, but like baseball is fine because it's fun, whatever. But so many people watch football and try and live bet it that it would crash, or like it wouldn't accept my bet, or like the juice would constantly change.
You'll still get that stuff though, because most of that has nothing to do with the server. It has everything to do with
just
their liability.
Yeah.
So you'll still get like, the Wheel of Death.
Yeah.
You'll get some slow servers, like that stuff, like that's normal. But
they'll figure it out at some point too.
Well, again, so like this is part of it. It's, if you like when you put in a live bet, like you ain't beating anybody. Like you're not outsmarting anything. So people who bet like real money, the second you put a comma into that amount that you want to bet. Now I'm not betting anything with a comma. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
But like the amount you bet, the line you're taking, like all that gets looked at really quick before you hit submit. That's what that Wheel of Death is. And that's why it's like, it comes back up and it's like declined or line changed.
Right.
And then it's like, you don't have that bet anymore. So you play that game no matter what.
Yeah. So the one thing I will say, we've talked about this on the show before. I mean, I will definitely utilize the Barstool Sportsbook in person at Plain Ridge because it's literally 15 minutes from my house. But I probably will not use their mobile app because of the horror stories that I've heard of just their terrible customer service and the shit like that, where people try and bet and it's like, oh, nope, your line changed. Your line was minus 110, but now it's minus 145. So do you still want the bet? Yeah, like I've heard a lot of really bad things about the Barstool app, but they can't really do that shit in person. I mean, they could, but it's more egregious, right? Like the teller would have to walk away from the window, right? Get his manager, come back and be like, oh, well, hey, your line is going to change. You know what I mean? So it's a lot.
Yeah, you can hit the kiosks too.
Right. It's a lot harder to do that in person. So like I said, I will utilize Barstool because it will out of convenience in person, but I probably won't use their mobile betting.
Yeah,
I'll probably use DraftKings because I already have an account.
I would say I'll have a couple. I hope we get Caesars. I think Caesars generally is like pretty good. MGM as well. I mean, we'll have MGM because of Springfield.
Right.
And then I think Fox Bet's always a wild card. I feel like their numbers are never the same as anyone else's. Both good and bad. But
right.
It's like this person Cy Young is 30-1, 30-1, 30-1, 55-1. It's like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is setting your lines?
Yeah.
And you might want to wake them up or fucking get them a piece of bread or something to sober them up. Like your fucking guy ain't paying attention.
Yeah, I know.
But then on the other hand, it'll be like, 31, 31, 31, 18-1. It's like, what? How the fuck are you always off?
Yeah. So do we know when does this not take effect until 2023?
Who
Oh,
knows?
September 1st.
Oh,
September,
really?
well, September 1st would be massively
mobile.
important because
That you would get the
want-
whole
you
handle
would
for
like-
the NFL
you
season.
want all of football season.
Yeah.
That's what I heard, but I don't know if that's true.
And so think
I
about
could
it,
be
right?
completely making that up.
How many people live in Massachusetts? 7 million,
Something like that.
roughly. So say like a third of the population actually would bet on sports. And that might be too high. But what is that, like 3 million roughly people? Like that's a lot of fucking people at a 20% tax rate. Like, so what I'm getting at is like, I'm trying to gauge, and it really means nothing other than just conversation piece, but that's a podcast, right? What do you think we'll do? Not obviously this year, because it'll only be September 1st to December 31st, but like knowing what Pennsylvania did in their first year and knowing what New Jersey did now. And again, I stopped myself because New Jersey pulled from New York for a little while. But like knowing what these places did, what do you think Mass is going to pull in its first year? So let's say like the calendar year of 2023.
Are we talking are we talking handle or are we talking revenue? Like state revenue?
Handle, because that's what the numbers that they use for New Jersey and Pennsylvania, right? Indiana was surprisingly a massive one too.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't they pull like a ton? But is that what they use? Do they use handle when they talk about it, or do they talk revenue?
They use handle.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's the amount wagered.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, Massachusetts obviously is smaller. It's probably smaller than New Jersey, right? In population, they probably have more people, right?
Yeah, I would guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, we should be able to do 800 million a month in revenue and handle.
Yeah.
And
Jersey did what, 930?
they owe it. Yeah. I mean, so they did 930 this April when New York was live.
Oh, gotcha.
So when New York wasn't live, they were over $1 billion, like quite a bit. So I don't really want to use New Jersey's. I don't want to use New Jersey's numbers when New York wasn't active, because that's pulling effectively on a state and a half.
Half a state, yeah.
Yeah. So they were doing like $1 billion, which means over the year they'd be doing about 12. So Massachusetts honestly should do, is that 8 or 9 billion?
Yeah.
Handle?
$1 million a month, yeah, easy.
So I just looking at real quick, Pennsylvania sports betting, they first got it in late 2018. So their first month was November. They did 1.4 million. In the month of December, they did 16 million in handle.
In handle?
Yeah.
16 million in handle.
Yeah.
That can't be right, no?
That's
low.
Whoever wrote that article is confusing their terms. Because 16 million is nothing.
Well, Mississippi did 31 million.
That's not a lot.
Yeah.
In a month?
Yeah, that was the month of December 2018. Okay, well maybe they had some goofy shit going on. Hold on.
Yeah, that's not,
because I just went further down the calendar. So in August of 2019 in Pennsylvania, the handle was 110 million. And then the next month in September, first month of the football season, was 195 million. And then they peaked at January of 2020 with almost $350 million in handle. So that was Pennsylvania.
I'm trying to find.
I have like every state right here. So like 2022 June for Colorado, 313 million.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is Colorado did 300? Like, there's no way Pennsylvania did fucking 16.
Yeah, that must have been at the very beginning.
Was that prorated over fucking 3 days? Like,
yeah.
No, that's 25. It looks like it's 17 days, 25 25 total days. Sorry.
Okay.
From 22nd of May to 22nd of June. It says 17, then in parentheses 25. Number of casinos, number of online. Number of casinos,
shit.
number online. So
What was March of 2022? Like this year? Did we
March
have anything?
Madness.
Oh, there we go. So Pennsylvania did 715 million. 715 million in
March
one
Madness,
month.
Yeah. So New Jersey this April did 930.
Yeah.
Connecticut's low too. 195 in June. Well, they don't have mobile, do they? Does Connecticut have mobile?
They must, because I think
I don't know.
is FanDuel in Mohegan?
Yes.
One of them is.
Yeah.
So yeah, Illinois is ridiculous. 700, 800, 900, 600, 800.
Nevada did 1.1 billion in January of this year.
Yeah, that's absurd.
So
We
looking at
probably-
Rhode
probably
Island,
stick-
Rhode Island sucks, but they do.
No one lives in Rhode Island.
Consistently, they're between 40 and 50 million a month.
Mass is going to be 500 plus.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, so
I was going to guess somewhere around 400 a month.
Okay, so I have found month by month numbers for every state. So who do we like? Do we like New Jersey?
Oh, you can't see it.
I'm on like, what am I on?
Sportshandle.com.
No, I'm on legalsportsreport.com.
That's what I'm looking at.
And I got like little sliding scale.
Yeah.
So I mean, June, which is a horrible month, New Jersey did 600. Like this past June.
Yeah, this past June, New York did 1 billion.
And Pennsylvania did 400.
New Hampshire doesn't even break 80.
No one lives there, and they have one operator. They truthfully don't do it right.
Yeah, New Hampshire did 53 million in June.
So yeah, like you said, before New York, I mean, you're looking at Jersey millions in the millions.
Yeah.
Now they're down to 600, 700.
Yeah, New Jersey was pulling everyone from New York. Wasn't that a thing? Like, weren't people talking about that? Like, people from New York would just drive over the border and park. They would park on the side of the road. So like the whole first mile of the Jersey Turnpike was just people parked on the side of the road.
That's what we do in Massachusetts.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, people do that in New Hampshire for a while. People were doing it in Rhode Island. That's wild. There's a lot. There's going to be so much fucking money coming in. Like I said, so I was going to guess 400. So 400 million a month times 12. That's just about 5 billion. $5 billion.
Indiana did 300 in June. If we can't fucking do better than Indiana, then what are we fucking doing here?
Yeah. Well, that's the one. That was the state. Remember I said that was like oddly really good.
So the whole question is, what are these? You make $5 billion in tax revenue. What are you doing with it?
So
where's that money?
So the tax revenue won't be 5 billion.
Well, yeah, the handle will be 5 billion. So
like that's the amount wagered. Yeah. So whatever percent.
Yeah.
Still.
I actually had a number, but I fucking just got out of Legal Sports Report. Yes. Nope. Not
so that's 20% is 1 billion, right? 20% of 5 billion is 1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, it still won't be that high, but for the all intents and purposes, I believe it's supposed to go to education.
Huh.
So New Jersey last month made 5 million in tax revenue.
Wow.
And that's June.
Yep.
So in March, they made 8.2 million. So they'll be looking at, what's that? 100? Call it.
Yeah.
Because the high months will cover the highs.
Yeah.
Almost 100 million. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they did 14 last November.
Yeah.
And that's actual money that the state makes. Like that's
Right.
real. That is real money. No hypotheticals, no percentages. That is the actual money that New Jersey sports books pay.
Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to go to education in educational institutions. Like that's where it's supposed to go. Now,
So get ready for a lot more like middle management tier positions for teachers, because the money's not going to go to teachers, right? And it's not going to really go to the students. It's going to be like, oh, we have a brand new assistant director of humanities because because the director of humanities it's a heavy lift. So now we got them an assistant director to help them out. And then
this guy's workload is way too much.
Yeah.
He
That's
needs
what
to
it's going to go
delegate.
to. It's
we
just going to
bolster the librarian position.
Yeah. We hired a
Assistant
new librarian.
librarian.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be. We've hired another assistant principal because the 4 that we had wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to go to teachers, right? Like some of it might.
Each
right?
submaster gets an assistant now.
Yeah. Because you got to think too, especially right away. Most of these, all teachers are on contracts, right? Because they're union. And if that union contract, like someone that just signed a new union contract in 2022, that's like, say it lasts for like 5 years, you're fucked. Because you signed the paperwork that said, well, for the next 5 years, you're going to fucking get a 2.5% raise every year. And you're going to like it because it's fucking nothing. Right. And now all of this money allegedly is going to be put towards education. So it's like, well, what about the teachers that just signed the contract for the 2.5% raise? But now is it like the districts that are up next year? Are they going to get like a 3.5% raise every year? Like,
dude,
you know what I mean?
I
like,
wouldn't even worry about it because the money, the way it's going to go, the money's going to come in and 100% of the money is tax revenue, right?
Right.
Well, let's just knock 5% off the top for accounting fees because someone has to account for the money.
Yeah.
So that's, you got all the accountants doing their thing, IRS doing its thing, just knock 5% off the top. Then 20%'s got to go to like, the actual like politicians and shit.
Right.
So we're down to, 75%.
The pockets have been greased. That's where it goes to now.
Yep. And then it's like, well, there's probably going to be some more administrative fees as you move down the chain. So let's knock that down another 25%.
And then don't forget the assistant director of humanities.
Yeah. So then it's like, okay, well, in 3 districts, we've added 4 positions. And
look at all these jobs that we've added. Yeah. But the teachers haven't actually seen any of the money. And the students still have shitty textbooks, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but look at all these jobs that we've added. Okay.
The people actually doing the school, both the teaching and the learning in quotes, will see nothing.
Yes, exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to experience less.
I think the actual like what $100 million question is any of this money gonna go to the MBTA?
Orange Line's shut down for a month.
Dude, you just see today. I just seen.
I
just saw the 25-day plan to shut.
And it starts on Wednesday.
It's like you're speechless because how the fuck do people get to work now after you fucking told everybody to not drive, either get a bike or take public transit? Now they can't.
Yeah.
So
Orange Line's that's a real line because that goes to.
It starts in Malden and it goes all the way into the Back Bay. Is that the last stop?
No, it goes
Further?
beyond. Doesn't it go to like Brookline, like Forest Hills?
Oh yeah, it does. Forest Hills is the last one.
Yeah,
so that's
goes all the way
Jamaica.
to Brookline.
That's JP.
Okay, it's a JP, not Brookline. Okay.
Yeah, Dorchester.
Or, you know
JP.
what? You know what? It probably is actually in Brookline, but Brookline won't claim it as their own. They can't have a train station in their fucking place.
Too loud. It's too loud.
Yeah.
12:30 press conference for tomorrow.
Yeah. So that's wild, right? Because think about the people that I don't use the MBTA every day.
I drive.
But the big thing with the Orange Line is that's pulling people in from outside of Boston. Like, does the Green Line actually leave Boston proper?
I don't think so.
So if you were like Green Line and they were like, fuck, Green Line's getting shut down, it's like, all right, this is super fucking inconvenient, but like I could maybe like catch a bus over to another stop or something or walk or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you supposed to get from Medford to fucking downtown Crossing if there's no Orange Line and you don't drive?
Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare. Absolute nightmare.
So that's what I was going to say, right? Like I don't use public transportation regularly. So I don't know if there was like any like heads up or anything, but the article that you sent me like right before we got on air was dated today.
Yeah.
And then in that article, because I read it, they originally were going to plan for a partial shutdown
That's what I saw earlier
last month, but they canceled it because they were like, no, it's we can't disrupt whatever. We can't disrupt it for a partial shutdown. So then the alternative is you're just going to close it all together for 30 days starting tomorrow, right? So this episode comes out on Thursday. So we're talking in the future, the days of future past at this point. But literally this article that was dated today, Tuesday, said that the 30-day shutdown starts tomorrow, Wednesday. And it's like, are you just telling people with 24-hour notice, like, hey, get fucked? Good luck trying to get to work.
My favorite part too about this is that I'm reading this tweet from someone on the news. They go, just spoke with Mayor Wu, who says, if true, she will work to make sure Boston residents have an alternative transportation. She doesn't even know.
Yeah. Oh, is she going to start driving Uber?
True.
If true.
If true. Yeah.
Big if true.
She's gonna start driving for Uber.
What does
she
it
doesn't
go,
even drive
like,
herself? That was a whole big thing during her campaign. She was saying something. I remember someone came after her because she has a driver. She has someone drive her around in like a Suburban or like an Escalade or like one of those. It's like a city car.
Of course.
Yeah. Because she was talking about like green energy and like bike lanes and stuff. She's like all gung-ho about green and bikes and shit. And then someone was like, oh, well, what about like the Escalade that you have a personal driver drive you around in?
Yeah. When's the last time she pumped gas?
Yeah.
Do you know what the average weekday ridership of the Orange Line was in May?
Like people-wise?
Average weekday amount of passengers riding.
So per day.
Average weekday ridership.
350,000.
No way.
102.
Holy
102,000.
100. Jesus, dude. I was gonna say like 20. So 100.
That's the blue line. The blue line's 27.
Or the silver line.
105.
Like, what the fuck is,
I would say because the blue line goes to Revere, so
yeah.
Ain't nobody going on the fucking blue line.
105,000 people are now fucked for the next 30 days to try and get to work.
Which means I'm fucked because now traffic is going to be 1,000 times worse.
Yes. For the next month, traffic is going to absolutely fucking suck.
Pre-pandemic, though, it used to be, where's Orange Line? It would hover plus or minus 200,000.
You're going to say probably way more.
Yeah.
I've just never seen anything this kind of dysfunctional.
It's pretty impressive.
It's awful. So shout out to
it's literally every day you log on, you open up Twitter. Oh, there's a fire. Oh, there's an explosion. Oh, someone just jumped off a bridge to get away from the Orange Line.
Yeah,
it's like every single. And how much did they spend on these new carts? The train carts, what, $400 million on those?
I don't think so. I think that's why they're doing it now, because I don't think the Orange Line got any of that. They got the rails redone, but they didn't get any new train cars. So all the new train cars went to the red line and the green line. I don't think the Orange Line got any new ones.
Well, I'll tell you right now,
I haven't ridden the Orange Line in fucking probably a decade.
I was gonna say, so but
I have ridden the red and the green line more recently.
The picture on this fucking social media post looks like the train that I rode. You know.
So the Orange Line definitely 100% got new carts. They can't be used because the power they draw doesn't mesh with the carts. With the the power of the rails. Carts, the power of the new carts. The power of the new carts you like draw from is too much for the trails.
Well, I saw in that article that Bob sent me before this said that there was a new section of track that had to be laid in between like Back Bay and like some other spot because the track in that spot was so bad that they had a speed limit restriction where like they couldn't go faster than like 20 miles an hour. And now that they replaced like some sections of it, they can now drive the cars 40 miles an hour, but that's still not the top speed that they should be going. So It's like, what the fuck, dude? The Orange Line is an absolute fucking disaster.
and it's seriously astonishing.
Yeah. So shout out to Nico's friend of the show. He's been on many a time. But one of my favorite tweets, he went right after like the MBTA, and I think Mayor Wu, because there was like a story that got posted on Twitter, and he like quote tweeted it and like went back at them and goes, "Imagine you dickheads wanted to host the Olympics and you can't even figure out the train situation." Or he goes, "Oh no." He goes, "You dickheads wanted to host the Olympics and our trains are catching on fire," or some bullshit like that. Like, it was hilarious. He was just going off on it. And it's like, yeah, it's true, right? Like we were scheduled, or would have been scheduled, to host the Olympics in 2 years.
They wanted the Olympics.
It would have been
wanted the World Cup.
2024.
They
Yeah.
want Super Bowls.
Like Boston's not a real city. Like, I'm sorry to break it to anybody that's like gung-ho die from fucking Charlestown, which isn't even Boston because it's Charlestown. Like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, fucking Boston. Yeah. It's not a real city. It's not. There's less than 1 million people that live in Boston proper. Like, that's not a real city. I'm sorry. Like, when you look at like all of these major cities, like around the fucking country, like New York has, I don't know, what, 12, 15 million people. LA's got 20 plus million. Chicago's probably got 10 million. San Francisco probably has at least 5 million. Houston's got 5 million. Like, even Jacksonville probably has like 3 or 4 million people. And that's a fucking shithole. Like Boston, that comes in at 850,000 people, you can fuck right off. Like, it's not a real city. Yeah, but it's Boston. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's where we live, right? It's where we grew up. It's where we live. It's a fun city, right? Like, it's cool to go in and have fun, but you can't sit there and be like, oh yeah, no, Boston, we got to have all this stuff. No, we can't. We're not big enough. We don't have the infrastructure for it.
We can't handle it.
No, we don't have the infrastructure. We don't have the fucking capability. It's not a real city. The plan, the big plan for the Olympics in Boston, right? So like, we get this because we live here, but like anyone that listens to the show that's not from around here, the plan was to build a stadium like 10 or 15 miles outside of the city for the Olympics. And then they were also going to utilize Foxborough, which is an hour outside of Boston. They were like, oh yeah, we'll have games in Foxborough. No, the Olympics are supposed to be in Boston, right? So like, you're going to have people staying 40 miles.
The Olympic Village would be in fucking Providence.
Yeah, right? Like, what the fuck are you doing? They were like, oh yeah, we'll utilize the DCU arena in Worcester for like some stuff. And I was like, are you shitting me? Like, this is not Boston. It's not the Boston Olympics then, right? So, like, it's clear that we can't handle this.
So how big was that hotel that they said they were going to build, or that stadium that they said they was going to build? Was it going to house people too?
Yeah, I don't know. It was was it Chestnut Hill or Brookline or something they were going to put it in?
Wow. You know, real easy place to get to.
That's the other solid thing too, right? Chestnut Hill, great area, real easy in and out, right? It's not like there's fucking,
I already know my thoughts on the highway systems in this state.
Yeah.
So something funny too about the Boston wanting the Olympics. I remember on the radio they were talking about this before, but I just looked it up. How many hotel rooms are in Boston? There's only 19,000 available open rooms in the entire city of Boston. Whereas if you look at like New York, there's 140,000. There's only 19,000 hotel rooms.
Yeah.
So are you just going to fill every hotel in the state?
Wasn't there going to be like a monorail situation too? Or is that like the way back in the day plan for the Olympics? Like, there was supposed to be like some fucking glass walkway. I don't know. It's something ridiculous.
Yeah, they had all these grand plans, right? Because
it was gonna be like this futuristic. It was gonna be the fucking Jetsons.
It was like right around like 2008, right? Like I think we were, or maybe just out of high school. Maybe it was like the 12 Olympics. I don't know. It was between 2008 and 2012 when they were discussing like, or putting in the bid for 2024. And everyone had these grand plans, right? Well, yeah, we'll build a brand new stadium. Because the other thing too was, in order to host the Olympics, it's a rule that the IOC has, is you have to have a stadium that holds 100,000 people. Well, guess what? The biggest stadium we have is Gillette Stadium that holds like 40,000 people.
Yeah, correct.
So We need something that's almost 3 times the size of Gillette Stadium.
Something at least 3 times bigger.
And where the fuck are we going to put
stadium
that?
for ants?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Look at Atlanta. They've had like 5 new stadiums each sport in the last like 20 years. Why can't Massachusetts do that? We make so much more money off taxes, off revenue from these teams, especially the Patriots.
Yeah.
Gillette's a joke. I think Gillette's trash.
Well, the governor needs a new administrative assistant.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite.
You gotta pay for all the submasters.
I think my favorite job title is administrative assistant or like senior director of administration or like any sort of like titles like that. It's like, let's call a spade here. You're a secretary for someone, right? Like, which is fine, but like, don't give me your bullshit title. That's like, oh yeah, no, I'm the senior director of administration. So you're the secretary that's been there the longest. I got it. All right, cool. Awesome. Or I'm an administrative assistant or an actually, that's not true. My favorite one is the executive assistant. Oh, I'm the executive assistant. Oh, so you get coffee for the CFO. I got it. Yeah, no, I'm an executive assistant though. Yeah, you're the do boy. But they think it's cool because it has the word executive in it. It's like, fuck off, dude. Yeah, so that's why we don't have new stadiums, is because bureaucracy.
So I just pulled an article from December 28th, 2014.
Yeah.
Talking about this. And it's like they're talking about Kraft building his Revolution Stadium adjacent to South Boston.
Oh yeah, because there's so much open space in Southie
for an Olympic Stadium in South Boston.
Yeah.
What
are they going to fill in? Fucking Sullivan's? They're going to fill in, what is that, Carson Beach?
I don't even know.
No more Carson Beach.
MassDOT spent $23 million on a key rail line that would extend the commuter rail to Gillette, which don't they already have a
It goes to Franklin.
Rail?
The commuter rail goes to Franklin.
Sick. Okay, good. So they were gonna have daily commuter rail service to Gillette. Now they already bought that. They bought that rail system. So that's 23 million. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting. MassDOT maybe figure out the Olympics are not something we're banking on to fix the system's problems. So they knew about it 8 years ago. They've done nothing since.
Yeah.
Just new train cars. That's it. That's fixing everything.
That they can't use because they're too powerful.
That are on. Yeah,
it's the wrong power.
Yeah.
Oh, these don't run on coal.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, the commuter rail does go to Foxborough. So maybe they were going to reroute it. It's not, I think it's like downtown Foxborough. So they probably reroute. We're going to reroute it.
It goes right to the stadium. Yeah.
No, there's a commuter rail station at the stadium.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
I just don't know where it goes. Like it might go to Providence. I don't know.
No, the end of the line is Franklin. It's the Franklin line. So
and
you
where
go
is
from
it?
South Station to Franklin.
Okay, so they eventually did that.
Yeah.
Credit to them. The Boston Common is going to be where beach volleyball was.
Oh, sick. Cool. That's awesome.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Fucking beach volleyball on the Boston Common.
They're going to just dump a bunch of fucking sand in the Boston Common. When we have beaches, right? We have, like I just said, there's Carson Beach, right? Like there's a whole fucking big long stretch of beach in downtown Boston. But we're going to dump hundreds of thousands of tons of sand into the Boston Common so we can have beach volleyball.
They were also going to do a different marathon route because the one we have is too tough.
Yeah.
But the one we have, they've been running for a very, very long time. So logistically would not be difficult to run.
Nope.
Yeah. Let's create a different route just so we can fuck that up. Thank God.
Yeah. We've been doing that one for what, like 150 years?
I don't even know, but like logistically, they've got that one down.
Yeah.
No, we're going to pick a different route, an easier route.
Yeah. We're just going to run every block in Boston.
Thank
Up and down, up Dartmouth Street, down Franklin Street.
Yeah.
Up Endicott. Down, you just keep going.
Take the cobblestones at Quincy Market or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank God thank God we did not get the Olympics. Fuck.
Oh
that.
my God. That would have been so fucking miserable. I would have seriously looked into like just taking like a vacation like during that time just to
You'd
like
have
get
to
the
shut
fuck
down
out of
every
here.
business. Every business in the state, you couldn't get to it.
Yeah.
It'd have to be shut down.
Any business that functioned in and around Boston. So like Boston, Cambridge, Dorchester, Brookline, like that whole area would have to close. Like there would
But you
be
even
no
have-
way.
Even places like, so from like Eric trying to get to work, he wouldn't been able to get to work. No way.
Yeah. You would have had to drive up 93 to 495
Yeah, drive
and
to
go
Lowell.
all the way around 495 to get down to fucking Attleboro. And it would have been quicker than if you tried to go 93 the whole way.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's great planning.
Oh my God, that would have been fucking miserable.
And people thought that was a good idea.
Yeah. Oh no, we need it. It's great. It'd be great for the Commonwealth. You know what would be great for the Commonwealth?
Cars that don't light on fire.
Yeah, a fucking train system that works.
Yeah, a train system that doesn't derail or explode.
Yeah,
every
can
week.
anyone like call DC? Like, doesn't the metro run pretty fucking smooth? Like, kind of like move people in out. Like,
I'm
without
pretty
lights?
sure every fucking subway system in the entire country works really well, except for
Boston's, like,
Boston.
notoriously the worst. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
DC,
Like-
what is DC? The metro.
Yeah.
Yep.
That thing's perfect.
Yep.
New York's a shithole, and the I'll tell you this: New York's system runs really well. It's fucking nasty, completely disgusting, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ours is clean, but it derails.
Yeah. It's like how often, like, I would love to see that statistic. What is the statistical probability that a train car would derail off of the tracks, right? It's probably like fucking once a year or across the country. And it happens like once every 6 months on the MBTA.
Now
We're getting
now
them
do
quarterly.
the statistical probability of how often a train system has a derailment and an explosion in 1 week. Tell me that.
Because
Yeah.
again, we're averaging about one a quarter now on that too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
My
like,
my favorite person was the person who jumped off the bridge.
yeah, they were like, fuck this. I would rather be in the Mystic River than
On this
be
train.
on this train. That is fucking disgusting.
So it blew up, and then the tugboat was like underneath the bridge anyways. It was going that way for some like lucky reason. The person jumped off. They said, I guess someone talked to the tugboat people. They were like, yeah, get on the boat. And they're like, no. And they just swam to shore.
Jesus.
They probably didn't want to get like named or anything like that because they were embarrassed.
Yeah.
That or the person who's just like, you know what? Just get me out of here.
Yeah. I'm
Don't-
surprised they didn't come out with like a third arm or something.
Give it time.
Fucking Mystic. Yeah.
The
I
third
know.
arm doesn't grow immediately.
It'll be like Doctor Strange at the end of
Yeah, the
multiverse.
third- the
you
eye
get the
just
third
pops.
eye just fucking
Yeah,
pops out of your head
yeah.
randomly. That's exactly what's gonna happen to that person. You don't fucking go in the Mystic River. Jesus Christ.
Start peeling like an iguana.
Yeah.
So at some point, do you think businesses are like accepting this? Like, okay, reason you didn't come to work today, train derailment,
Yeah.
I mean,
train explosion. It's no longer
Yeah.
the dog ate my homework. It's now, yeah, my train exploded.
yeah, my train caught on fire. Sorry,
Like, you
sorry,
just-
I'm late.
It's like you
Which
don't
is
even
now
need,
more believable than a dog ate my homework.
Yeah,
yeah. You don't even need to say it's just like orange line, red line.
yeah.
Like, what happened? Oh, you're late. Red line. Okay, get to it.
Yeah. Oh, glad you're here now.
Fucking Boston.
Yeah. So none of that sports betting money is gonna go to the MBTA.
Just 1 month, 2 months of revenue profit of tax profit.
Yeah,
Could possibly do wonders.
I know.
It would do something as
Yeah.
opposed to the nothing that they've been doing.
But don't worry, Michelle Wu's saying we can't keep putting band-aids on these situations. That's her thought.
Yeah. So we have to inconvenience everyone for 30 days so that we can like do a half-ass job and maybe
feds
fix
are
the
getting
tracks, but still have
dude-
like a shitty train.
And I saw it, like it was supposed to be shut down from Oak Grove to Wellington. That's one stop. And it's
Yeah.
not a far distance. That's probably a bus.
Right. Yeah, you can take a
Yeah.
bus.
And now they're just shutting the whole thing down.
Yeah, it's that bad. I did see that too. Like the federal government is
Yeah,
getting
the feds
involved.
They've been involved
because it's so bad.
they've been involved like for months now, if not years. Like this has
Yeah.
been bad for a long time.
And
Like,
you know, my favorite thing on Twitter is too, all the people that are tweeting at Charlie Baker being like, your legacy is this fucking bullshit MBTA system. I want to be like, hey man, are you new here? Because the MBTA has been absolute dog shit for my entire life. So for at least the last 30 years, the MBTA system has sucked, right? Like it's been the running joke forever. And I'm pretty sure Baker's only been the governor for like 8 years. So all the people that are like, it's your fault. It's like, well, I don't think so. But I mean, have fun with that. If it helps you sleep at night.
yeah, or hey, remember the guy's a lame duck at this point. So what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is that race this fall? Is that, or is he a 2023 guy? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I should know.
Is governor 4 years or 6 years? 4 years, right?
I want to say it's
Senate
4.
6.
I want to say it's 4, and I want to say it's this year, but
Yeah. I think the Senate is 6 and the House is 2. Or the House of fucking Representatives is 2.
Governor's 4 years.
Yeah. So since we were on the topic of sports betting before, I also want to bring this up and see what you guys think about this. So because of sports betting, right? It cost Calvin Ridley an entire season. 17 games he got suspended for wagering a cumulative $1,500 on sports. And today, one of these within the last 24 hours, the NFL brought down their suspension for Deshaun Watson, who has 45, I think, allegations of sexual misconduct against him. And he got 6 games. To compare now, as much as I fucking shit on Patriots fans and the Bobos, the Tom Brady Bobos, let me put on my Bobo hat for a second. Let me toss my Tom Brady binky in my mouth real quick. Tom Brady got 4 games for science, what equated to be science, right? Because bullshit science at that. They made it up. Like it just came out 2 years ago that it was all made up. Right. And they were like, oh, yeah, I guess the ideal gas law actually is a thing. And turns out those balls, I don't know, they clearly probably were doctored in some way because those text messages were like a little ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like all of this bullshit. They were like, yeah, we really didn't have enough evidence, I guess. So Tom Brady got 4 games suspension for footballs being like a couple PSI too short. Deshaun Watson with 45 claims of sexual misconduct got 6 games, and then Calvin Ridley, who bet a cumulative $1,500, got 17 games.
Yeah. So I mean, the obvious thing is the NFL and Goodell, they care more about what happens on the field, right? They think what Calvin Ridley did could have affected a game. They think what Brady did could affect the actual game on the field.
Right.
Who else? I don't know. And the only other ones that don't make sense is like Josh Gordon, 20-something games for weed.
25 games for weed.
So it seems like that's the only one that's kind of the outlier. But it seems like the heavier penalties come to things that they deem could affect the on-field
product at the end of the day.
Yeah. So the only thing with Josh Gordon specifically is there's actually published criteria for his violations. Like if you have substance abuse, like first offenses might be nothing.
Yeah, there is the NFL drug policy.
That's in the rule book.
Yeah. So
it's
the
in
rest
the
of this
CBA.
stuff, the rest of this stuff doesn't have Yeah, it doesn't have rules or anything.
Yeah.
But
It just
Well-
seems that they like I said, they care more about what happens on the field than what happens in real life.
Right.
And now
What
you
did
have all these other.
Kareem Hunt? Did he get
Oh,
4
geez.
games, 6 games?
he might have got 8.
I think he got 8.
Yeah. So Kareem Hunt got 8 games.
8. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you right now, video. So in the hierarchy of the suspensions, is there published criteria? No, yes. Okay, here's a flow chart.
Yeah.
No criteria. Is there a video? If yes, big suspension.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it cost Ray Rice's career.
Well,
So Ray Rice, how many games did he get? 4 games?
2 games.
2 games. He got suspended 2 games, but then he was essentially
the
untouchable.
outrage was so bad
Yeah.
that he just essentially could never play again.
Right. 2 games. Ray Rice got.
But like, and then it's like Greg Hardy's gotten however many games, whatever. It's like I don't know all the fucking DV guys, but
Yeah.
so it's like almost in the
Dante Stallworth. Dante Stallworth killed a guy.
A season.
He got
a season
Yeah.
for vehicular manslaughter while shit faced.
Yeah.
One game.
So
One
Dante
year.
Stallworth for vehicular manslaughter and DUI got the same suspension as Calvin Ridley, who bet on sports.
Parlays.
Yeah, parlays. Yep. Makes a lot of sense to me.
And what I think Eric makes an interesting point. So obviously there's the product on the field and there's the product off the field. So your
Right.
off the field guys.
You literally have to kill someone to get suspended for a season. That's what right? Like,
Or a video.
am I
Or a
wrong?
video.
Setting, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a video.
Yeah.
What will be interesting is what happens to Stephen Ross, because
Yeah.
I believe he's informally guilty of tampering with Brady in 2019.
Oh, he
Yeah,
got
they pulled a 1st-round pick
a third
and he's suspended. He can't be on
till
site
October.
until October. Yeah.
So that was his tampering penalty.
yeah.
Yes.
Did
So
they
a
announce
1st round
anything
and
about
a 3rd-round pick?
First, so it's all announced. It's a 1st round next year, a 3rd round the year after. It's like I think a $1.5 million fine, and then he's suspended till October.
Okay.
Okay, and that's all for tampering?
Yes.
What about paying Brian Flores to lose games?
I think it's all rolled into one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's out.
Yeah,
no,
I think I
it's-
did see that. It was tanking and tampering that they lumped it all in as one penalty.
All right. So tanking and tampering gets you a bunch of money for a guy where, what was it, 1.5?
1.5 million.
That's nothing.
He's a legitimate billionaire.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah.
So
1.5 million is
a
probably
sum
like
of money
$100
that is
for us.
useless, a meaningless sum of
Also,
money.
what the hell does suspending an owner do?
Nothing.
Yeah, so he's suspended for a month. The
Yeah.
owner of the team, who
He got 4 weeks.
unless you're Jerry, you don't do anything with your team. You hire people to do what they're supposed to do.
Right. Whether or not the owner is present at a game sitting in his box has 0 to do with the outcome.
Yep.
Right.
0.
Like even Jerry Jones, who's the de facto GM, like if he's sitting in that box on Sunday or not, like it still doesn't fucking matter.
So can he watch the games at home? Are they gonna like, no, dude, you can't watch the game?
Yeah.
Cut your cable for a month.
They're gonna cut his cable.
I'll tell you right now, if I was that fucking rich and I couldn't go to the games, I'd probably just like go to the Bahamas for a month or something.
Yeah.
Because I assume it's probably like, oh, well, you're suspended from work. You can't go in the building either. And it's like, oh no, my office,
So-
all my stuff's there. It's like,
There is this group. It's like a women's group of the NFL or something like that, and they're kind of going up against Goodell and the whole suspension, saying they need to extend it or do something more. And it's getting a lot of traction. I'm trying to look it up right now, but
so this is also a tough situation because they did go to an independent person to come up with the suspension, right?
Yep.
That other woman. So it's an independent person. So it's not like Goodell didn't hand out that suspension. Whoever they decided would be the independent person. I think it's like a judge or something, right? like Sue Robinson or something. Unless I'm completely making this up. I don't know.
I actually don't know
Yes,
anything.
no, you're
about
right.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, okay,
Sue
so-
Robinson.
Okay, so I believe she's the one who decided what the suspension would be.
Yep.
So not Goodell. Now, the other thing that's hard, and this doesn't mean he didn't do anything, but there's no criminal charges on file. So it's like civil complaints, I wouldn't want to have to make this call, because in the public outrage side, he should probably get a year. In the what's been proven in the legal system, again, what's proven in the legal system, he would get nothing, but that's not exactly the full story.
Right.
So I don't know. I think landing on 6 games, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little low, right? Like I said, like if
Yeah,
and I know,
like,
and
but
like
by
you
low,
said,
I mean
Eric
it
made
should be 8.
Eric made a really good point about I had never thought of it that way about the on the field product.
Yeah.
But like if someone got 4 games for the PSIs being off, like wouldn't personal misconduct be worth at least 8? Right. Like, and so not just
kicking
personal
someone's worth
misconduct,
8.
personal misconduct to the level of 45 allegations, right? Like if 1 or 2 people comes out against you and says that like you fucking you diddled them or you did whatever, like, yeah, you should get suspended like a game or 2, right? Because it's the personal misconduct or whatever the fuck the NFL has. But like 45 women have come after you and said that you were a disgusting human being and accuse you of sexual misconduct, and you got 6 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you said, in the legal system, he's not guilty, right? Which is different than innocent. He's not guilty.
He was not proven guilty
In
a
the
court of law.
right, in a court of law, he is not guilty. But when it comes to like, again, I just go back to like the conduct policy, like that should be worth at least 8 games. And I know we're splitting hairs, right? If we're talking 6 games versus 8 games, but I think at least 8. Like, I think, because this is what the NFL does, right? I think they should have dished out 12, right? And then inevitably when he appeals, settle on 8. Because that's every fucking suspension in the NFL. Someone, they appeal it and then it reduces. So you give him 12, he appeals it, and you settle on 8. I think that would have been fine. I think you would have had a lot less people flipping out, because there's a lot of people that are flipping out because he only got 6 games.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on that disciplinary committee, whatever.
Yeah, and I think the NFL is notorious for being really fucking terrible. Like if you put it on like 2 ends of the spectrum, you have the NHL, who's the best at it, right? Like what's his name? Greg something. Releases like a fucking 4-minute video that explains everything and gets through the whole process. Well, we saw this and we took this into account and we took it this, and like he like breaks it all down for you as to why they did the suspension. And then you have the NFL, which is on the complete opposite end of the spectrum. That's Roger Goodell being like, you know what? I don't like this dickhead. So 4 games for PSIs. Shit. Well, we got video evidence of that guy kicking her, so we'll give him 8 games. This guy, because the other interesting thing that I heard, and again, it's the NFL and it's Goodell, and all they fucking care about is numbers. The reason there's rumors, the reason why they dished out the 6 games is because when he comes back, week 7 and 8, he plays, I think it's at the Ravens and then home against the Bengals. And I think they're both primetime games. Like I think one's a Monday night game and one's like maybe Thursday or Sunday night or whatever I think they're both primetime games. And it's like, are you serious? Like you're shitting me, right? Like you gave him 6 games because now it's a logical leap, right? And I understand that, but if true, you gave him 6 games because you wanted him to be back for the fucking AFC North showdown in back-to-back weeks against the Ravens and the Bengals.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, so this woman actually does work for the NFL.
Sue Robinson.
I thought she was completely independent. She used to be a judge.
Yeah.
She was now appointed the league's disciplinary officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So something stinks a little bit more now.
Yeah. So, you know, like,
But still, there's just no consistency at all
no.
across the board.
Nope.
Right.
No, and again, it's like, again, I would never want that job because fuck me. Like, again, it's like I forgot like the order of events for the Ray Rice thing. He got suspended and then the video came out. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's like, can you guys just like, I don't know, not be the worst ever?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you like not beat up your fucking wives and girlfriends?
Like, can you guys just like really like try to not be massive pieces of shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Because then it's like I suspend you, and it's like I'm either too harsh or I'm too lenient, and I can't fucking win, and I'm not even the one who hit anybody.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah. All right. You want to wrap this up? It's about that time.
Wrap this up. I gotta pull out.
Uh,
I think I have a thought in there.
Eric, you got a final thought?
All right. Final thought. So I'm a baseball guy. I'm a baseball fan. My final thought is on the Red Sox.
Uh-huh.
Shane Bloom or Chime Bloom. I don't know how you want to pronounce it.
Yeah.
I truthfully think he doesn't have a clue what's going on right now. Yesterday, they traded away Vasquez, their all-star catcher. Granted, he might not really be an all-star. It might have been a fake all-star appearance the year before, but he's having a really great year.
Yeah.
They traded him away for prospects, and then they go and get help for the outfield. And then they go and get Hosmer today, which wasn't going to happen until he backed out of that Nationals deal and the Juan Soto trade. So it's like they're buying, they're selling. They don't really know what they're doing. I think they're just being disingenuous. And I just, I'm not happy. I'm an unhappy fan here.
Yeah.
And,
it seemed like they were just kind of like middling.
they're playing both sides.
Yeah.
We're gonna buy and sell. That way, we always come out on top.
Yeah.
Or in the middle.
And then all that happens is you end up with a public masturbator on your team.
Yeah, exactly.
That video was unbelievable.
They'll win 89 games and lose in the fucking the wild card before the wild card.
Yeah, what is it now?
They got rid of the playing game, I believe.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
So now it's
it's just 2 wild cards with
There's
one
two
team
wild
gets a
card.
bye.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, that's what all right.
Okay. Oh, so a team gets a bye. All right.
There is a buy, yeah.
Yeah.
But like I mean, you're a big market. You get all this money in the world. I'm not really sure what you're trying to do. All these people need extensions like Bogarts and Devers. You're screwing them around. You have Bogarts saying, I have no clue what these guys are doing. They're using Buster Olney as like a mouthpiece. And he's saying players are coming up to me saying, what the hell are we doing here? They don't know what's going on. Devers saying, hey, Bogarts today was like, we're letting all these people go. Nothing's coming in. I have no clue what we're doing. I'm not happy. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of kind of unrest in that locker room, and for a team that should be kind of in it at least and spending the money, but they're not
Yeah.
really trying to do that. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it's that ownership group being too busy with soccer or too busy with the Penguins. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
It's
They need
sad.
to just bail. There was rumors about them
Selling.
selling. And I think it's time. You need someone that gives a shit and someone that's not going to pinch pennies when you are in a sports market like Boston. So literally 2 seconds ago, I said Boston's not a real city, which I stand by that. It's not. But when it comes to a sports market,
like our sports,
it is second to none, really. Like the biggest sports markets in the country are going to be Boston, New York, Philadelphia, and LA.
Yes.
And LA is a distant fourth because Boston, Philly, and New York are fucking as diehard as it gets about sports. So, and it's all sports all around too. So that's why like Detroit is a good sports city, but like they don't really even have the Red Wings anymore, but they've never had like both teams firing off at the same time, right? That are really good. Like the Tigers were the laughing stock forever, while the Red Wings were good. And then, the Red Wings were bad and the Tigers won that one World Series. And it's like,
they still love those Lions though.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Lions, but you know what I mean? Like it's, so Detroit is a good one, but it's not that good because the teams aren't good. So it's really Boston, New York, and Philly. And then, like I said, LA is a distant fourth because they have their heads up their asses with Hollywood and they care more about being famous.
And then before we move on, one more thing that I just hate. I hate it a lot. People who cover Boston sports, specifically Tyler Milliken.
Is he a real person or is he just like a Sports Hub intern?
No, I guess he's a real person. He's on that new Carabas podcast for DraftKings. But people like him drive me fucking insane. They just constantly praise and will always report and talk about the good and the great. But anything that happens that's negative or any move that a guy like Shane makes that needs to be criticized or questioned, he just won't do it. And it's infuriating. Like we've talked about in the past, things that piss me off just filter into my feed on Twitter. Like this guy, I just don't get it. And they have great jobs. They work for the Sports Hub. They have this huge podcast, but they're disingenuous. I guess that's how you have to be. It pisses me off so much. I got really mad today about it. I was talking to my friend on the phone. This fucking kid pisses me off so much, and I'll never meet him ever.
Yeah,
like it shouldn't affect me like it does.
I guess they all can't be Adam Jones.
No, but I do enjoy an Adam Jones take.
Yeah.
I do.
What do they call it? The Reaper or whatever.
The Vulture.
The Vulture. Yeah. The Vulture.
But Tyler Milliken, anyone who listens to this, tell him he sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, come talk to us. Defend yourself.
Yeah. Hey, I'll have him on.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. We'll facilitate that discussion.
Oh yeah.
You big jerk.
First things first, you're an asshole. All right. Now let's have a discussion.
Yeah, let's put out the conflict of interest first. I've never met you and I already hate you. So this is our starting point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like with those people who do fucking like conference speeches, like conflicts of interest. Conflicts of interest. I already hate you, especially your face. I don't know what it looks like. Start there.
Just a little piece of what this guy does. So they traded I don't know. They traded a couple. They got a couple prospects today. One of them, his name was Ferguson, right? Doesn't matter his name, but the Baseball America description says blah blah blah. He's fast, all this, but then there's a blurb right at the end of it saying he needs to put on a lot of muscle and a lot of strength to even be a utility backup player in the MLB in the big leagues. He just leaves that out. He goes, yeah, he's a speed demon. Great on the bases, but
it's because he weighs $140.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
I was fast when I weighed 140 too.
The picking and choosing of what you say to kind of not offend your buddy Chame pisses me off. So Tyler, I hate you. For now, you could win me over if you came on the show.
It's true.
Well, Bob, do you have any hate like that for your final
I do actually.
All right, let's go.
I actually do have some hate.
Let's go.
And it comes down to you can't play or you can't win if you don't play. The fucking Mega Millions.
Yep.
Now, credit to whoever just won $1 billion because
one damn person.
One person didn't have to split it.
Yeah.
But from a guy who sold lottery tickets for 5 years, I don't need to hear it from you. Oh, well, you can't win if you don't play. I fucking know that. And I'm going to choose not to play because I'm not going to win. Because the odds are, on average, about 1 in 176 million. I Googled that earlier. That's a stat. Now, for this one, because the pot was much higher, I believe your chances are even less than that. maybe one in half a billion. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a fake stat. So I just hate, number one, the fact that people think they're going to win this thing. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, Lloyd Christmas is sitting here like, oh, that one in a million. So you're saying there's a chance. You're not even a fraction of that. So fuck off. And then if you want to buy lottery tickets, I don't know if you guys know this, because maybe, you know, as a guy on the inside.
No, give me the tips here.
So you can buy lottery tickets and shut your fucking mouth too. Like, you don't have to make a stupid ass comment like, well, you know, you can't win if you don't play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because, you know, I'm sitting here without a ticket thinking I can still win. Yeah. like I don't need to hear it from you. Don't look at me when you're in line doing what you need to do. I'm not buying a ticket. I don't care. Like, I ain't going to win $1 billion. If anyone wants to give it to me, sure, I'll take it. And I'll figure out, well, I hate to have to pay taxes on 1.35 billion. It's almost not worth winning.
Hey, you're going to retire once you win?
Oh God. I mean, I wouldn't fucking work another day, but that's another thing. I'm just like so sick of the fucking people. Like, just buy your tickets and shut the fuck up. Yeah. People do it every fucking day and they don't have to say something fucking stupid in line. Just buy the fucking tickets and move on with your fucking life.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Buy the ticket, shut your fucking mouth. So
anyone?
I was planning on winning. So
yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good too. The people that buy the ticket. Oh, I hope this is the winner. Oh, you don't say, huh? I thought you just wanted to throw $5 out the window.
Actually, it's funny because
I buy lottery tickets hoping that I lose.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I hope this is the lucky one. Yo, give me the winning one.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I give it to you?
Yeah.
I am working part-time at a Stop and Shop right now. I do
Wait,
not.
What's the best scratch ticket to buy if you were selling?
There was nothing. There's no.
They all suck.
Those things. The only thing that you could see, like, observations, if a new ticket was out, they kind of front loaded them so people can win a few times, and then, but not like the big prizes, like a lot of hundreds, 200s, stuff like that. And then eventually they just go cold. I always like the back end of books. Like, if you can see that a book's like almost empty, because for some reason people don't like the back end. I don't.
All the winners are gone.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah.
I've always liked the back end. But again, that's like, you know, 50s and like 50 to 100 winners, stuff like that. But
yeah.
Otherwise, scratch ticket, they are just, I think $5 ones give you your best odds.
Really?
And yeah, I think mathematically $5 ones are the best odds of winning any prize
for the money's worth.
Yeah.
Like, technically, I think the $30 ones have the highest chance of winning, but like, you got to spend $30, right? So like, are you willing to spend $30 to lose and not get anything?
Yeah, because I mean, if you buy 4 of them, that's $1.20, and the 5th one might be the winner. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it is. I think it's 1 in 5, and you might only win the $30 back.
Yeah, but you only win the 30, so you spend the $150 to get 30, and you're just upside down.
Yeah,
before you even know it.
Yeah. No,
I actually was talking to we were talking about this. There actually used to be a system for wheeling the lottery. So you could, like, you needed to figure out the math on it, and it had to be like mass cash or something, which was only a 5 number, no ball, no nothing. Actually, you can wheel anything, but it started to get like crazy expensive. Yeah. And if you wheeled the lottery correctly, you either won quite a bit of money or you fucking didn't win a goddamn thing. And it's like, you would have like 2,000 tickets and stuff. Like, it would be like something like that. Yeah. So it's like, you do the math formula of the most probable outcomes. And I think you would have to buy like close to 2,500 tickets. So that costs you $2,500. But the mass cash grand prize is $100K, I think. Plus you can win whatever those like other prizes are. And that, like, that's how it would go, is like, you would get like if done correctly and it bounced your way, like it's a massive risk. But if it bounced your way, you'd probably make closer to like 110, 115 after you pay your 2,500. But you gotta have all the tickets, and it's like you could easily be, again, you could be upside down. Like you could be 2,500 down.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to cut that off, but I just got a text from Spencer that he's trying to get on to interview someone. So I will make an abbreviated final thought. Because it's just about 9 o'clock, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I'm recording at 9 o'clock with someone." All right, cool. Give me a minute.
Gotcha.
So my abbreviated final thought is I want to give a tip of the cap to Bill Russell. Obviously died a couple days ago. 88 years old, the greatest winner of all time of any sport.
Yep.
11 championships, just unmatched, unrivaled. People want to give him shit because they were like, "Oh, he played in the 50s and no one was around." Whatever. He still he played against Wilt Chamberlain and beat him. So like it's not like it was, us three out there running against him. Just all around good guy. Always heard good stories about him. So also too, we missed him on the death pool. So got to throw that in there too. We missed Bill Russell on the death pool, and it sucks, right? He was the greatest champion of all time. He's the GOAT of GOATs. So better than Brady, better than Michael. It's probably, as much as it pains me to say it, probably better than Tiger. He's just there.
Yep.
So that's that. So thanks for watching. If you're on YouTube, and give us a thumbs up. I guess I'll give a shout out to fucking Reality Tonic podcast, because they're trying to get on in any second now. They might just show up at the end of the show. So
I think Kobe would have been the next Bill Russell, like as he aged.
Yeah, it could have been. So yeah, like, rate, subscribe, review, tell everybody you know about the show. You get us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_Speaks. Facebook is Sarcasm Speaks. Go to the website, sarcasmspeaks.com. Buy some merch. mybookie.com and grillyourassoff.com. Thanks to both of them. Same promo code, Sarcasm Pod. Doubles your deposit at mybookie.com, which we might not need them anymore because we're going to
still use them.
Sports betting. Yeah, I'll still use them. I still have money in the account, so I'll use it. And then also thank you to grillyourassoff.com. Promo code Sarcasm Pod. Get you 10% off your entire order every single time you check out. So that was the fastest closing read we've ever done.
Hurry the fuck up.
Thanks. Until next time. Good night, everyone.